Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some Sins to Action. Continuing our coverage of the 4-Power 2-Balance tournament. I'm Karaslegacy, your host today. We have another exciting game in our tournament, so let's get right into it. On our north side, representing the team Suneaters, we have Kissblade as the red Advent, and we have L as the blue Visari. On the bottom side, representing Team Loong, we have Lee as the white Advent, and then we have Triple C as our kind of pale teal.
Civilian structure complete.
TC
Our forces have engaged the
Action is
enemy.
going to be brought to you on Scrambler, common map we've seen in the tournament overall. Big thing to always remember is the Pirate Bay right here is going to be pushing on. Looks like it's going to be Lee. Who's going to unfortunately take the full brunt of that, at least in the initial onset. So navigating around the pirates will be a key factor in this game. One thing I also like to note is with this current setup, we do have L does have this kind of nice quick connection to a second Ferris world through a volcanic. Possible we may see a push here to quickly take that Ferris world. Or L may take the more traditional, just kind of moving around with the asteroids. We'll have to wait and see as this action begins to evolve.
Hostility
All right, we're already on Kiss here, and it looks like Kiss is already looking for a quick tech into Tier 2 military, likely utilizing the Hostility Shrine on his homeworld. We're seeing a Halcyon. Kiss has been pushing on the Halcyon quite a bit lately, likes the speed, the rush, the power it can generate early on.
Another planet
Halcyon's pretty much the fastest creeping ship in the game to date, able to clear areas and kind of move expansions quicker than pretty much any other ship in the game right now. All right, so looks like Kiss is just cleaning up his initial asteroid. And okay, looks like it's going to be pulling back to kind of conquer the backyard rather than pushing deeper towards the south side. All right, his partner L, basic egg push right now. L's going with a standard 1-1 for Visari. Nothing too special there. All right, so we're not seeing any particular push just yet, but we are seeing. Okay, it looks like a Desolator
Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
So he'll be going with that second cap Desolator push here momentarily. Did open up his influence in the Vitrak, possibly to sell some of his exotics, or he just wants the Fabricator for later. But something that noted here is that players may not know. The Visari players, because they start with so many exotics, sometimes sell them early on in order to get an initial bonus. And getting the tier 1 in Vitrak will actually give you a bonus credits for that sell. So this is something you'll see sometimes Visari players do.
Scouts have discovered a colonizable planet.
All right, looks like L is actually pushing to the south, starting his expansion that way. And again, we'll see if this is just kind of filling in these plants in the backyard.
Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
A push here shortly. All right, now switching over the action over to Lee here. Okay, so looks like Lee is pushing with his own Halcyon and has bypassed this volcanic world and moving straight into Kiss's territory here, starting to cleanse and likely going to colonize this world. Makes sense. He's basically trying to avoid the pirates, avoid the pain that they cause. Taking this volcanic world down here is going to have little benefit if he doesn't have the strength to hold it. But the trick is the pirates may cut off some of his reinforcements, so he may be able to push this. Whether he'll be able to hold it or not is going to be a question mark. And Kiss does have his Halcyon in the near facility.
Another planet joins the Unity.
So Kiss may try to retaliate while Lee is still dealing with the creeps in the world. The other thing we're noticing the difference between Lee and Kiss's Advent play here is Lee is focusing on 1-1. He is moving towards Tempest at the moment, whereas comparing Kiss is still pushing more aggressively into the tier 2 play. And we do have Tempest already for Kiss. Kiss does have Pirates unlocked. So maybe able to grab some Tempest with a Pirate
You
skill here
failed to
momentarily.
place a bid.
Our
This
forces
is up to
have
about
engaged
130
the
fleet
enemy.
supply,
Exotics
focusing
have been
principally
unveiled by our
Disciples
squires.
as the opener, but looks like he may be
Mining
transitioning to
upgrade
Tempest now.
complete. Hostility research tier complete.
Lee has only gotten up to about 100, still just focused on Disciples, does not yet have any Tempest ongoing. So it's really going to come down to
Colony
defense here.
research
If Lee
complete.
can kind of fortify this
Exotics have been
world,
unveiled
he
by our
might be able to hold
squires.
this, but if Kiss pushes before this is fortified, it's likely Lee's going to have to retreat. And it looks like Lee is just kind of causing some trouble here. I don't think his intention is to really hold this world against Kiss's forces. I think it's just the goal is to keep this out of Kiss's hands. Although I do say that, and he is starting some development on it, so he may try to hold this, but
A
I don't think it's
colonizable
going to be in the
planet
cards.
has been discovered. Defilers encroach upon us. Hostility research complete.
Both sides do have level 3 Halcyons. That's a key point because of the number of strike craft they produce. So when it comes to these kind of early battles with Halcyon, the level can make quite a big difference. All right, we may come back to this fight, but let's take a quick look
Our
on the right
forces
side
have
here.
engaged the enemy.
All right,
Mining upgrade
L is
complete.
pushing in deeper with his double cap opener. Looks like he is going to press on the TC.
Exotics have been
Here.
unveiled by our squires.
Let's actually slow things down just a touch here and check out. We haven't actually gotten a chance to look at Triple C here. All right, Triple C has gone an Akin opener. Seeing that a lot from our Chinese players. He's moved into already level 2 trade, but does have a bit of it wasted because of the lack of other minor factions that can trade, and does not seem to have gotten any trade ports open, at least as of yet. Okay, we do have one trade port on the asteroid just now kicking in. So, looks like he needs a little bit more trade to utilize that fully. Has moved into tier 2 military, though, is not opting to be too greedy with the Akin. And with freebooters coming online, we'll have a force that may be able to push back on L's forces. But let's get back to the action over here as our Advent players are beating the crap out of each other. All right, now L has gotten his level 4 Halcyon up a bit quicker. But overall, if we look at the two plays here, Lee just does not have the secondary forces. His strike craft are already kind of been beaten up a bit, and L should, with reinforcements coming, L is not going to, or Lee is not going to be able to hold this. So, looks like Kiss has already cleared the planet and reset the world here. So, Lee did a little bit of economic damage here. I think the mistake for Lee on this one was taking the planet made sense, but once he saw that Kiss's forces were coming with a stream of Disciples and Tempest, I think the key was just cancel everything on the world and just go ahead and pull out. You've delayed him a bit, you've caused some trouble, you held the world for a bit, but you're just not going to be able to do any real holding with this force. And of course, it just cost you money to invest in it, which you're never going to get that return. All right, going on the right side, L is pushing deep. We now have the completed trifecta for the Visari, the classic egg, desolator, and carrier opener. Very common, very powerful opener for the Visari.
Yes, the item is ready.
Looks like L is sticking on tier 1, just getting his regeneration
Scouts have
text online.
discovered a colonizable planet.
Focusing on
Warfare
fabricators
research
to keep his
complete.
capitals in tip-top shape. Getting them all their needed items, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Let's see how Triple C is going to respond. All right, looks like Triple C has gotten his freebooters online. He does have his coal as a secondary follow-up, and this is a decent force to be contesting against L's
Military
troops.
structure
It's got a
complete.
good fleet supply, good combination of forces.
Mining upgrade
with
complete.
these combined, should be able to do some good pressure on and push back on L's here. All right, we do see it looks like Triple C's kind of split his forces. He's got his Akin here plugging away on this ice world, trying to take it back. And we'll see if Triple C tries to kind of compress his forces down onto this world.
Military research complete.
All right, now on the north side, we have a very interesting play here from L. Lee. Lee is just kind of bum rushing here with his Halcyon, just going around trying to cause some delay. I'm not really sure what the play
We
is
have
with
wiped
this,
out an
with this
enemy
Halcyon.
colony.
I guess his goal is just to keep
Scouts have
pulling
found a
Kiss's
colonizable
forces
planet.
back, preventing
Military
them from
structure
pushing south.
complete.
But one Halcyon is really not going to be able to do a heck of a lot. It's already quite damaged, and looks like Kiss is just going to kind of use his Rapture here to keep beating it up and pulling it away. All right. Now, Lee is moving into the back pocket. Let's see if Kiss remembers to follow him or if he actually gets away with this. Meanwhile, we do finally see the confrontation here
Our fleet
between...
is under attack.
We've got Triple C and
Civilian
L here
structure
going to work.
complete.
Triple C's forces are kicking in. He's got his pirates online, and we do see... Okay, interesting. The Aachen has actually opted to pull forward after the two caps have hit it.
You've made a fine purchase.
Pushing further
And,
north again,
no
trying to distract L,
refunds.
trying to kind of pull his
Our
forces
fleet is
back,
under
preventing
attack.
from getting any deeper into the pocket.
Civilian research complete.
Nope, we do have a boarding
upgrade
crew
complete.
for Triple C. That could be a big deal if we start seeing some heavier ships from the Sorry player.
We have wiped out an enemy colony.
Okay, looks like Triple C has retaken, or at least cleared, this asteroid, and likely will retake it shortly. So we're starting to see kind of a pushback here against L's forces. Now, what about Lee? Okay, so Kiss is doing it right. He's not overreacting.
Exotic
to this.
resources
And we
have
just
been
saw a
located by
recall
our
back to
survey
him.
teams.
So
Military research
that was a
complete.
nice, actually, little play from Lee. Lee, what he did is he tried to kind of pull off Kiss's forces, try to be annoying, try to create an overreaction
Civilian
from Kiss,
research complete.
bringing a lot of his
This
forces
is a
back here,
Hackman battle cruiser.
and then he
My
recalls
shields are
down into the southern area. But Kiss played it smart. He sent just enough to keep that Halcyon from doing any damage, and ultimately Kiss continued to pressure into the south rather than getting pulled back. So excellent play from Kiss there. All right, on the right side, we do see the Atkins under a bit of trouble here, but armor's still mostly intact. I think it's going to be able to pull past this. But the TC's forces here are
Exotic
getting a little bit
resources have been
split.
located by our
And
survey
we do
teams.
now have a Devastator for
A
L
new
online.
colony has
so
been founded.
the
Your
Sarge player
influence
continues
is
to kind of ramp
noted.
up.
We have a deal.
We do see Triple C continuing just with the two caps and his freebooters, so not investing anything heavier in his fleet currently. Meanwhile, we
Logistics
do see
upgrade
L,
complete.
L's fleet supply is still kind of lagging a bit, but he is making up for it
One
and
of
just
our
raw
colonies has been
capital.
lost.
4 capitals
You've
online
made
with
a fine
pretty much
purchase.
nothing else at this point.
No refunds.
And while that skirmish is going on, we do see Kiss making a deeper push over here into Lee's systems. Let's kind
Our
of take a look here.
forces have engaged
Kiss has gotten
the
up
enemy.
to 280 with a Rapture and Halcyon. He's got his Guardians online. Still a decent amount of Disciples, actually, rather than Tempest. Always interesting to see, again, in the new patch, Disciples have really started to make kind of a comeback in the meta. So it looks like Kiss is favoring them, at least in this matchup currently. All right, we do see let's see if Lee has a decent fleet
Our
supply as well,
forces have
and now has a
engaged the
Radiance,
enemy.
Rapture, and Halcyon. So with 3 capitals, might be able to make some work
Our
here. but
forces have
This is a pretty solid
engaged the
fleet here,
enemy.
and has his Guardians online. We're also going to start seeing. We do have boarding crews for Kiss. No boarding crews over here.
Desecrators assault
So
our
Lee
world.
is going to
Defense
struggle to
upgrade
potentially keep
complete.
some of these Guardians. Kiss may be able to start stealing more of them and kind of keep those on his side. All right, action's heating up here. The Raptor's doing what it can, but against these kind of forces, it's not going to hold out for long. Looks like he's trying desperately to get his defense platforms online. Kiss is not falling for it, and you can see the Disciples kind of sniping those out. Meanwhile, the Rapture's just taking heavy bombardment here. And while this Rapture could soak some damage, it's not going to do any work here. It's going to have to run. Kiss is starting to bombard this asteroid, and likely will take this asteroid out here in short order. Going back to the right side. All right, the triple cap here is putting a lot of damage and has managed to cripple Triple C's Cole. All right, this Cole has jumped out, but has jumped right into the middle of a carrier.
Civilian
We're going to follow this
structure
Cole now and
complete.
see if it is able to move past these forces and get the heck out of Dodge.
Next time, place a
All right,
bid.
looks like it's going to try to reverse itself, but I don't. Yep.
The Unity
L has
fallen silent
followed
on
this,
one
and
of
this
our
cult should be dead.
planets.
Our shields have failed.
An allied
There
capital
it
ship
is.
has been destroyed. Another planet
Big hit
joins the
for
Unity.
L here, potentially shifting the pressure of that move back. And yeah, you can see Triple C is just now still sticking with his Aachen and his freebooters. Really has not invested into any further fleet supply. Let's actually take a look. It looks like we're seeing a push into tier 3 tech. We do have some exotics here, possibly for
Military
coal.
research complete. Military
And-
structure complete.
Yeah, light on the tech. We don't see any research boosts, so even though this is a tier 3 military push, this is kind of a slow one. We really, honestly, at this point, with the resources we see here, probably should at least have 2 levels of research, if not 3, to try and speed this up. Because if the goal is to get research to kind of balance this out, it's going to be quite a while until that kicks in.
And no refunds.
L is still on level 1s, focusing again just on his capital play in order to keep things moving. Has now also incorporated boarding crews, which
Exploratory
are excellent
nanites
against
have
the
found
TEC to
exotic
capture, especially the
resources.
Shinko. That's always a critical unit for the TEC, and so capturing those is always a good
Shields down!
deal. All right. Non-stop action in this battle today. Pirates are even getting into a little bit, sending Kiss on his way. All right, and with that pushback, it looks like the left side may settle just a bit. As we take a look, Lee is finally trying to take some of his kind of right side worlds here. Kiss is, yeah, a little bit ahead, where he's got his volcanic in the back here, and looks like he's now
Our
going
fleet
to
has
spread into his
engaged the
volcanic first.
enemy.
So, Kiss is a little bit further ahead on the economy,
Harmony research
and a
complete.
good bit ahead on the fleet supply.
Times of war
So-
are upon us.
Not to mention
Hostility
that the
research
tech
complete.
bonus here continues to be an advantage for him.
Exotics have been unveiled by our scryers. Our forces have
Okay, now this is
engaged the
interesting.
enemy.
Triple C
Exotics
has
have been
managed
unveiled by
to
our
send his Aachen
scryers.
all the way into the backyard here, managed to take over one of L's asteroids, and has actually fortified it pretty well at this point. We do see, okay, we don't have Pronost in this game, so there's no influence turrets. These are just raw money turrets being generated here. And, okay, we do have at least 2 Goss online with 2 more coming. This will be an interesting play. Will L be able to kind of stall this out long enough for his other ships to get here? Or is Triple C going to be able to fortify this? It looks like Triple C is considering
Hostility
to run
research
away.
complete.
Is this a complete retreat, or is he thinking about causing some more trouble elsewhere?
Another planet joins the Unity.
Meanwhile, let's look at L's forces. Now, L's kind of got his forces kind of tucked in the
Exotics
middle
have
area
been
here.
unveiled by our scryers.
Yeah, and this carrier is starting to take some damage,
Military
but it
structure
does have
complete.
its own healing, and is starting to clear away these turrets. I have a feeling that this this carrier, if it stays active, it's probably going to be able to clear these defenses.
The completion of this item makes us stronger.
Scryers have located a divine artifact. Behold its power. Exotics
we just
have
got
been
notice
unveiled
that,
by our scryers.
You've made a fine
All right,
purchase.
Kiss has managed to pick up
No
an
refunds.
artifact, a Manifest Dominion,
Vengeance is a
100%
cruel
culture rate,
mistress.
which for an avid player is
Commerce
often pretty
upgrade
good.
complete.
So might influence some decision making there, perhaps. And actually, yeah, we do actually now see a push into culture for Kiss. Whether that was always in the plan, or if the artifact kind of shifted his thinking to want to utilize that artifact, we will see culture online here shortly.
An allied world has fallen to
Alright.
the enemy.
L has decided to continue to push. We do still have, we do have the 3. We do still, okay, he does still have 4 capitals. The other one's just kind of splintered off for now.
Let the bidding commence.
And yeah, I mean, it's a small force from L, but at the end of the day, Visari capitals are absolutely no joke. And this fleet is doing real work. Yeah. Like,
We've
Triple
lost
C is
contact with one of our
is
planets.
just not respecting this amount of force, or simply has just gotten so economically beat up he's not able to fight this off. Let's take a look at the logistics here.
Defense upgrade
Yeah, we
complete.
don't have any extra production for Triple C. He's not put any production in his back pocket here. He does have a decent number of exotics. He's got enough to he could put out another Dunov as well as his coal here. So this might be a focus on capital
No
ship play
bid.
for the interim.
You missed out.
Yep, we are seeing defenses kind of fortifying up here. Should be enough to keep
Times
L
of
at bay, at
war
least in the
are
short
upon
term.
us. Military structure complete. Item complete, Commander.
We do see
Military
that
structure
Crazy
complete.
Aachen is still just messing around. Now has at least one Krosov to siege with it. And yeah, with the two combined, I mean, they do some damage pretty
Military
fast.
structure complete. We have wiped out an enemy colony.
This is kind of
A new
this
colony
is,
has
yeah,
been
this is really
founded.
holding Triple C's strength at bay. Yeah, he is using this to just eat up L's territory.
He's made
L
a
has the
fine
fleet, he has the
purchase.
forces,
And
but
no
he's just not
refunds.
respecting this little annoyance fleet, and it's doing a tremendous amount of
Military
damage.
structure complete.
Meanwhile, on the left side, Kiss is once again doing a new push.
Logistics upgrade complete.
Staying on tier 2, we're not seeing any other pushes there. Again, mostly these guys pirates online. Already up to
Another
530
planet
fleet
joins the
supply
Unity.
with 2 Halcyons, Radiance or Rapture. Now has a mothership, and still mostly focused on disciples with a smattering of guardians. So it looks like this is going to be a capital heavy push from Kiss here.
Civilian structure complete.
Let's actually take a quick look at his Unity as well. Focusing on Clairvoyance. And we do have a point in Recall in case he needs it. But no other big commitments into Unity play, at least not yet. It's okay.
Greedy heathens pillage one of our worlds.
Alright. Kiss is fortifying his fleet
Hostility
up,
research
and
complete.
I would suspect to see a pretty large scale invasion here momentarily. Lee is currently severely outmatched fleet supply wise, almost 200. And looking at his now, he does
Commerce
have a decent amount
upgrade
of
complete.
Tempests, which against those disciples might do decent work, but Kiss is way outfleeting him and is
An allied
out
world has
capitalizing
fallen
him.
to
And
the enemy.
most important here, actually, and this is kind of a big mistake I'd say from Lee at this point, there are no guardians in this fleet colony. Advent fleets demand guardians. They're not an optional vessel. You gotta have them. They're just too good otherwise. Yeah, 37 minutes in the game, you really need some guardians in your fleet here. So I'd say that is a mistake here at this point. All right, Triple C is over on the right side, clearing up the remnants of L's incursion into his systems. And yeah, L's kind of got beat up here.
Shields down.
We're not seeing any tech further. We do see the addition of an additional Devastator, so he's just slowly creeping up on capitals. Does have quite a few boarding crews operational.
My armor fails me.
He'll be able to capture quite a few ships if he needs to. Okay, where was that armor warning? Over here. So Triple C has managed to maintain this asteroid belt. He just continues to build up
Enemy
these
forces have
scouts.
arrived.
And again, Ellis has never been able to put enough forces in this system to win it off. 2 capitals might be enough if they were fresh,
My
but
ship
4 Gauss,
is
2
ruined.
capitals. Oh, these capitals are in serious trouble.
One of our
This
colonies has
Devastator
been
is
lost.
taking damage actively. We've got 4 Gauss firing on it. It does have some shield regen that might hold it out, but it's taking a lot of damage. It should be able to get out, but it's going to be close.
Sequence. Shield failure detected.
And yeah, Triple C is going total defense here. Basically, we're just seeing a non-stop use of turrets, of healing, and has
Hostile
effectively
forces are
made L's
sieging our
territory his own.
planet.
And while ultimately, if L is concentrating his caps, he should be able to clear any of these systems. Triple C is just moving around. He just constantly
Let
keeping
the
L off
bidding
balance
commence.
by taking systems, by moving around, by colonizing around him. And again, L can take over any system, but he doesn't have the speed
Enemy
and mobility
forces
to
have
really
arrived.
contest all of this at once, and that's holding him up quite a bit. Which is a struggle, but at the end of the day, it may not really matter, because while the right side is a bit stalematey back and forth, on the left side, it looks like we're seeing a pretty aggressive push here from Kiss. Just quick check. Okay, no raptures at any high level. All right, big battle here. We've got, all right, the 50 Tempest from Lee are kind of something to watch here.
Hostile forces
But
are sieging
ultimately, I
our
think the
planet.
capitals from Kiss here, plus the fact he does have a good amount of Guardians, should likely take this. Now, Kiss does have boarding crews. He did have boarding crews. Does he have them anymore? He does have some boarding crews. Will we see some more? I think stealing the Guardians here is one of the key aspects.
missed
Only 2
out.
Guardians here for Lee. If those 2 Guardians get stolen, this fleet becomes noticeably weaker. Now, these Tempests are going to shatter through these Disciple forces.
The planet is
So
ours
these
for the
Disciples
taking.
are going to
One
be
of our
likely
colonies
taking
has been lost.
Taking just a fleet supply check here. We've got 540 over what? About 535. So it's relatively even. And considering the defenses here, I think Lee's got a good shot at defense here, but that's what we need to see. Plasma Nova Generator. You Advent players. Lesson for you today. So many Advent players that we see
complete.
do not use Plasma Nova Generator. It is a wonderful area effect spell. It does tremendously good area effect damage. You should use it. And we can see Kiss is applied to all these Tempests here, doing a huge amount of damage. All right, the big push here is, all right, Lee's Halcyon is heavily damaged here. Looks like, okay, it looks like it almost went to cripple, but it did get its shield burst back off. And his shields are back online. Halcyons are annoying like this because they can just hang out in the background, and most of their power is in their strike craft. And as long as their strike craft are alive, they're doing good damage. But check this out.
Defense upgrade
This has shifted
complete.
primarily into fighters over bombers, and has stripped clean all of Lee's forces here. So Lee has no strike craft available. His Halcyon is basically worthless at this point. I'm going to speed us back up here just a bit. And yeah, ultimately, while Lee's defenses and his work kind of helped him out initially, I don't think he's going to be able to hold this. Yeah, as his
Enemy
capital
forces
starts getting
have
focused here,
arrived. Our ally
he's not going to
has
be able to
lost
maintain
a
the pressure.
colony.
And as the Plasma Novas continue to hit, these Tempests are starting to get weakened out.
Hostile forces
And
are
there we go.
sieging
You
our
see Lee
planet.
now doing a full retreat here. All right, Kiss ends that fight with about 510 fleet supply. Lee, however, has been building up his forces and is now up to 540. Mostly Tempest, so it's a very focused Tempest play. Kiss is maintaining. He has added a Revelation as well to his crew. His
An
disciples
allied
were
world
cleaned
has
out, but we
fallen
do
to the
see
enemy.
some Tempests now getting added into the mix. All right, next fight over the asteroid here. Lee is completely pulled out here, and this asteroid will get cleaned up in very short order. Back on the right side. All right, L is using his
Our fleet has
gangster force
engaged
here
the
to
enemy.
just strip away the TC. It's going to do a lot of damage here to this Cole. Cole's going to have to get out of here. Should be able to pull out. All right. But we may see a chase
Hostile
from
forces are sieging
Well, now
our
it looks
planet.
like he's probably just going to keep. He's trying to clean house here. Oh, and here we go. L is actually taking a lot of siege damage here from what we have. 7 Crowsets. This is a respectable siege force. L definitely has to worry about this.
Purchase. No refund.
And I think this homeworld is toast. He's going to get back in time to do some damage here, but I don't think it's going to be in time to stop this siege force. Hit points tick down as the capitals come in, try to clear them out, but it's just too little, too late. And these Croceps are going to finish the job. L loses his homeworld, and that's a big hit.
One of our colonies has been lost. Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
Team Suneaters takes a bloody nose there, but they may get some revenge here.
Hostile forces are
Slow it back down.
sieging our planet.
All right, we see the next big engagement between Kiss and Lee here. Ultimately, Lee's ships have still not been able to have really time to heal. He has some defenses here, but mostly beam defenses. Nothing here terribly scary. And this is a mistake right here. He really needs to kind of pull these forces back, but he's unable to do so. So the Radiants pulled out Animosity, taunting these ships, keeping them here while they get pelted, and preventing them from kind of moving back into these defenses. Yeah, you see it now. Lee is starting to pull back. He's trying to consolidate his forces around the defenses. That's good play. It makes good sense. But at the end of the day, all right, the fleet supplies still are pretty even between the two. It's going to come down to how well Lee can micro his capitals and keep them alive, and how well his Tempests are going to be able to micro around his defenses and do damage to Kiss. Kiss will take likely some hits early on, but the attrition war is going to go to Kiss just because he has more capital ships. And Kiss is not slacking on the Plasma Nova.
The war is lost.
1 or 2 Plasma Nova is not going to do much to these Tempests, but you start adding up 2, 3, or 4 of those, and suddenly a lot of Tempests are going to go down in short order. Alright, going back to normal speed. This is basically just a Tempest force desperately holding against the force of Kiss. Now, there are enough Tempests here to do some damage, but with Guardians and this many capitals, Kiss's capitals are starting to take some hits. You see him, and he should have enough. Yep, should have enough wherewithal to pull these guys back, pull them out of harm's way, let the shield recharge do its work. And I think this is going to come down to Lee just does not have enough healing here. His capitals are not going to be able to stay in the fight long term. That, I say that though, and these beams are starting to do some work here. Kiss's Halcyon now is taking some severe beating. He was also being forced to pull out of the fight. Yeah, Kiss's capitals are starting to see some real damage here. The defenses are starting to do some work, and Kiss has to be careful here. He might be overestimating his fleet here. I think he still has the advantage, but his capitals are taking damage quick. And there we go. All right, Radiance is now in crippled status, as looks like the fleet is trying to nail it. But yeah, okay. The Tempests are going to engage, but I don't think they have enough damage here to do the job. And interesting, Kiss calls for the GG, and you can see why. So as this partner L was taken out, and we can see Triple C now moving his siege forces to Kiss's homeworld. At the end of the day, Kiss does not have the fleet to pull back and to protect his homeworld. And while he might ultimately beat Lee at this homeworld here, it's not going to be an overwhelming fight. Kiss is going to lose the majority of his forces in killing that fleet. And at the end of the day, he's going to lose his back pocket. His partner is dead. And, he's dealing with a 2v1 of 2 still reasonably strong opponents. So at the end of the day, the Suneaters have called GG, and that concludes game 1 of this series. A reminder, it is a best of 3 series, so we will be back momentarily for game number 2. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm Karaslegacy, and we'll see you on game 2.